In Kakubansiri village, Kabulasoke sub-county in Mpigi district, we found 13-year-old Annet Namawejje, who is recovering after surviving a fire at her school last year. After 3 months, we've now followed up on Namawejje to find out how she's doing and what plans her mother, Cissy Nalweyiso, has for her now that her life is back on track. On 25th October last year, the country woke up to the devastating news of a dormitory fire outbreak at Salama School for the Blind in Mukono district. This fire claimed the lives of 11 visually impaired learners out of the 27 who were sleeping in the fated dormitory. 4 of the learners were rushed to Kiruddu hospital with both minor and major injuries. Among them was Annet Namawejje. Her mother, Cissy Nalweyiso, narrates to us how she rushed to Kiruddu upon receiving the news.
I arrived at Kiruddu hospital at 10 p.m. But if you didn't know Namawejje personally, you would have failed to recognize her.
When one of the learners, who had also sustained serious injuries similar to Namawejje, passed away, Nalweyiso got more fearful. But Namawejje survived and was moved out of the intensive care unit.
Annet became conscious again, and if you asked her anything, she would respond to anything. I thank the medical personnel of Kiruddu for taking care of my child.
When her condition improved somewhat, Namawejje was discharged from hospital. But the discharge did not mean a clean bill of health. Namawejje still has a long journey of recovery ahead of her, as evidenced by the wounds on her body, in addition to the burn scars that cover the top half of her body.
I take her to a local clinic in our town to be dressed every 3 days. Because I can't afford to take her back to Kiruddu, I don't have transport.
But these dressings are not cheap.
For every dressing, I have to pay 150,000 shillings, and this is every after 3 days.
Because she doesn't have enough money, Nalweyiso has to rely on the goodwill of community doctors like Dr. Didas Sebulime.
Consultation from a doctor, we have to buy a stronger tube than we've been using. We've been using Banchua and that kind of tube, that ordinary one. But even they recommend the other tablets, that citizen tablet for pain and itching, which is not enough for that burn.
Local leaders within the area have also offered support.
I did not visit the child in hospital, but I always inquired about her health. Then I would go around soliciting for support from the residents to meet the needs of the child.
I was so worried because that girl, she was young and she was her first time to go on that school.
But of concern right now is how she will return her daughter to Kiruddu hospital for a medical review.
I call upon government to help me. My child wants to go back to school, but I can't even take her back to hospital for review.
Namawejje is also feeling upbeat about her recovery. Nalweyiso says she is ready to return her child to Salama School for the Blind despite the incident that almost claimed her child's life.
At first I was scared, but other parents reassured me that they were taking back their children to Salama School. I also want to take her back because I can't keep her at home.
But she wants the school to make a few changes.
Let them improve on security because it was alarming for the children to be burnt to death in such a manner.
What awaits to be seen now is how survivors of this devastating fire like Namawejje are going to restart their lives after this tragedy. Joyce Nakato, NTV Tonight.